Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Cassie No here. And let's get to it. Woo. Breaking news. Yes, Diddy is going to be suing a lot of people. And before this is even done. So, NBCUniversal and all the people responsible behind this documentary that they got coming out called The Making of a Bad Boy. And putting together this documentary, Erica Wolff, who's the attorney that's handling this lawsuit, is suing NBC Universal and Peacock for defamation in this lawsuit. They're claiming, based on all of the things that they've seen by the accusers and everything in the doc that has been provided to them, is that it made a lot of false inaccuracies and falsehoods amongst the people that wanted to see it, or the people that were involved with knowing what they were doing. But it's very clear to me, just like everybody else, that Diddy is being used as a patsy. Everybody wants to make money off the tragedy. They so outraged, but not too outraged, they want to make money off of them. So, in making a broadcasting of these falsehoods that they got in place, many other people, the companies, they seek to capitalize on the people's thirst for it. See, without the scandal, without any regard for the truth, they do it at the expense of Diddy. And they mess with his right to a fair trial. Now, Diddy is bringing into the lawsuit something they want to hold him accountable for. The extraordinary damage his reckless statements have caused in this, lawsuit. Because a lot of it is reckless. So now NBC is going to be charged for all the people who made these statements during this documentary. Now, they said NBC shamelessly capitalizing off the public insatiable appetite for the content about Mr. Combs in the lead up to his criminal trial, arguing that the company and its streaming service made a conscious decision to line their own pockets at the expense of truth, decency, and basic standards of professional journalism. Making of a Bad Boy, which premiered last month, features candid interviews with Combs' associates over the years, including the Bad Boys Records founder, friend, bodyguard, makeup artist, intern, and producer. Combs is also suing Ample Entertainment in the lawsuit by maliciously advancing the unhinged narrative that Mr. Combs is a serial killer with absolutely no evidence or logic to stand on. And in the face of clear evidence to the contrary, defendants spread fake news of the most damaging kind. They accuse Diddy of inappropriately touching and making of a bad boy. The film takes a look at Combs' rise to fame and the damning criminal allegations that derailed his media empire. Diddy's lawyers claim that making was an attempt by NBC and Peacock, racing to undo the competition for the most salacious Diddy expose. Oh, this finna get really interesting because I'm going to tell you exactly what's coming next. So, we all know he was charged with racketeering, which they still have not got anybody added to the case to say we can put them with the case. We're in February. The case is less than 3 months away. They already got a superseding indictment, which means basically nothing. Trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, all accusations against him remain in custody, while the special housing unit in Brooklyn is where he's staying at in the Metropolitan Detention Center. May 5th is the trial date, and that you all know. Let me tell you what you don't know. The reason that you're seeing this lawsuit come, as I knew others would file suit, is that when they were starting this out with these documentaries and they were going through the process of doing this, they were looking for YouTubers, YouTube videos, people that could promote a narrative. Gene Deal was taken in. He's going to take any Diddy deal that comes his way. A lot of people taking deals. A lot of people with an axe to grind and agendas. I had footage of Diddy in a video. They asked if they could use the video. These people saying, "You want to get paid for a Diddy documentary?" I'm like, nope. Don't want it. Well, when you get pushed in a situation where people want you to give a narrative to something that doesn't exist, that's when you got to start asking questions. Why doesn't it exist? Why the narrative that they've created don't exist? And they're still running with it. It's because they're allowed to, because they're controlling the circus. They're controlling the show. They're controlling what you see, what you hear, what you eat, what you smell. This is their narrative. This is their tricks. They want to push that narrative. They want to say, don't look over here, look over here. Now, what started this motion of these lawsuits, and I knew it was coming, but what started it and gave it motion was this, Blake Lively lawsuit that's going on. With Justin Bernardi or whatever. When he sued the the New York, when he sued the New York Times for $200 million for the lies they told, and working against him. I got allergies, yes, but I also have a cold. And I'm having some work done on the house. It's like every week something else you got to get done. That's what happens when you got a house. Who's going to win the lawsuit first, Diddy, Trump, or Drake? Well, Drake's lawsuit will be thrown out. Trump's lawsuits are settled. And the rest is history. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome back.
Yes.
So, all these witnesses who came up and made fun at the expense of Diddy, they're going to want to have a conversation with some of these people. And naturally so. People are grinding them around the clock because they have an idea of something. Right? You ever seen that happen? Somebody have an idea of how something should be? They throw principle, morals, all out of the window to sell an idea to the people. And what is that idea? Diddy is an animal. He's such an animal. I'm gonna survive. He's such an animal. No proof, right? They tried to say Diddy paid some people off. Okay, where's the money? If people are paid, there's got to be a money trail. That's what being paid off looks like, right? Cash grab is correct. Now you're thinking straight. Now, for the first time, it's starting to add up. Money grab. Remember they had the secret informant? We got the secret informant. Diddy's worried about it. This person is telling us everything. Come to find out, the secret informant was the same person that was filing the lawsuit. Your secret informant was the internet. The government's secret informant was the internet. Their secret informant was all of the salaciousness off the internet. Celebrities, Justin Bieber news, all of this craziness they found on the internet. For real. Whatever they talked about, Natamori. Remember that? Wanted to get the right word for it. Natamori, a Japanese tradition where a nude woman would be laying there with all like seafood and everything covering her parts and all on her body. People would go by and take the food off the body. Natamori, Japanese culture. They act like Diddy invented it as a sick freak off fetish. Then they tried to allude that the girl is underage and she was there for some sex thing. There was people there to try to corroborate this is weird, knowing that this is not only tradition, they have models for this. You have Natamori models who know how to lay there. They're trained to lay there and not move while the food is on their bodies. Will Smith has done this. Kanye West has done this. Even his daughter thought it was sick when he was introducing her to this. That's right. He tried to introduce his daughter to this. Mm-hmm. She didn't want nothing to do with it. Let me share with y'all, because I'm a very sharing individual. Kanye's 46th birthday party. Look, you see that? The models is covered. There's the shelves. It's not Tamori. Japanese culture. Now, NBCUniversal is going to say, we're not responsible. You're going to have to get your money from these people. Now, NBC rushed to judgment and did not vet the stories. And they left themselves in a pretty liable situation. The company that he's also suing, they sold it to NBC. They got it done quick, and they rushed it over to the NBC. I'm not sure if that's the same company that contacted me and wanted me to get involved and wanted to use some footage. The reason why I said no was I get crackpot stuff all the time. So I didn't really believe it was true that they were even gonna, offer me that for doing it. But then secondly, I didn't own the footage. So I can't get paid off of it, or I will be sued by the person who eventually sees it and say, hey, that's my footage. And they come for me. They don't want to come for their bread. So I didn't own the footage. He said, all I could do is wait until court until May. Then I will know who's bluffing for sure. Will, that's the thing. When the court dates get here, Will, you're going to find out something even more interesting than what you've ever been told. Here's what you're going to find out that's more interesting than anything that you've ever seen in your life. They don't have any evidence. So they're trying to manufacture it. They don't have a case. Their case is so weak. They know it is. It's weaker than the damn ASAP Rocky case. Now, what is known as a constant to some might not be as clear and concise. If Diddy was doing all of these acts, you would have more witnesses. And if he's doing all these acts in front of all these people, there will be a lot more victims coming forward. There's no celebrities on tape, but yet still it was like celebrities paid off money to buy the tapes because they don't want it to be seen. You have all these civil lawsuits. Why wasn't any of these civil lawsuits added to the criminal lawsuit? Why did 120 people decide that they want to do something civilly, but they were so outraged about what was done to them that they don't even want to see the guy jailed? But they want money. But none of them thought the best course of action was seeing him behind bars. Well, my buddy, he's still holding on to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Now that we've arrived at this point, Feds got everything, Cino. There is no everything. The Feds got nothing. Because you know what the Feds have to do? The Feds have to turn over everything to the defense. See, that's what happens in a trial. When the process of discovery is done, and you've had all this time to go over all the videotapes and footage. Remember, they told you they had all these cell phones, hours and hours of tape, right? That they seized in a raid. Nothing that they got from the raid, nothing they had from the raid was used for a sex crime. There was no drugs. There was no date rape drugs. There were nothing. Of course, they found weapons, and again, hard to tie to Diddy And plus, you're in the state of Florida. Good luck with that, New York. Again, all it was about was we got to get to these tapes. And I told you, they can't get to those servers. So all the phones they confiscated, all the things that they claimed they had on tape, nothing was evidence. None of it is evidence. Diddy is not on trial for touching Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber has never come out and said Diddy touched him inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. He has nothing to do with the case, nothing to do with the trial. But yet the internet will make you believe it is, because they're going to keep showing you images of Diddy and images of Justin Bieber and making up all these damn fake stories. Now, Justin was touched. Just not by the people you think. Now, I didn't say it was edited. I told you what they said. It was edited, and it was edited, and it was presented before a judge, and the judge said it was edited. Why would y'all send me an edited? He said more than 100 million worth of damage. I know he should have sued for 400 million. But that's just one lawsuit. Diddy's finna sue everybody when this is over, because his career will never be the same. Once Diddy is found innocent of these claims and these charges of the trafficking and all of this stuff here, he can never go back to Hollywood, because all those people have burned him. And in Hollywood, they don't apologize to you. They don't say we're sorry. Him being the guy he was, even when he wins the case, he's going to be tainted. It'll be like OJ. He can't go back there, because it's still going to be some of those people who are going to have to ride with the narrative to keep up the image and the look. Well, it's really hard to be dominantly good at something for a long period of time. It's really hard. So when you say things, you want to make sure you say them with conviction. You want to say them to mean something. I believe in facts. Notice the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch, over 300 young men that they employed, promised all these positions, got nothing. There's mum's the word on that case. Matter of fact, he filed and had the case dismissed while he's sitting at home. Over 300 boys that this gay man and his gay partner allegedly employed under the false pretenses of advancement. And they had to take him in on the fact that the show, like, we're not bigoted. We're out to get these people. So it ain't just Diddy. Then he gets bail. He gets negotiated bail before he's even arrested. Then he sends in a motion to have the case dismissed. And you never heard anything about the case ever again. Yet, Diddy's in the news every day. And the man's been behind bars for months. And then you just put out the evidence, and the evidence basically proves the man should have never been arrested in the first place. The only videotape evidence that you think you got him on is a consensual tape of these two having sex. And that's the tape you got from Cassie's lawyer. You got nothing from the raid. And how do I know that? I didn't say alleged because it was all presented at discovery. And they have to turn over all the information and evidence that they have over to the defense. Once the defense saw the evidence, they're looking at the judge confused, like, this is it? This is what you're holding them on? Oh, this case is over. These are two. Where's the celebrities? Where's the underage girl? Where is all this stuff y'all said that was on it? In your statements that you made. They actually had that guy up there give that speech saying that we're going to see all of these things with these allegations and none of it. All we got is a video of two people having consensual sex. Where's the freak offs? So we're going to just take the testimony of disgruntled employees and people who were cut off for being jump offs. Good question. Make it make sense, everybody. Make it make sense. I think he's innocent. I think he's innocent of everything they're trying to say he did as a crime. No criminal act was done here. The only crime, it's like, did he hit her on the tape? He's not on trial for hitting Cassie on the tape. The prosecution is using the tape to try to say she was trying to escape a freak off and he was trying to drag her back to a freak off. Then editing the tape, because they know the edited version of the tape paints the narrative into that version to make it look like Diddy hit her and drug her back. as that tape was leaked to CNN, and then tried to say, oh, the hotel gave that to CNN, not us. Then who edited it? The guy at the hotel? They edited it to your satisfaction, then turned it over to CNN. So you're already trying to weaponize the general public. So how is he going to have a fair jury trial? But now, since Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds have this lawsuit going on in the New York Times, get this reckless journalist piece already prepped and ready to go. And they're being sued for doing just those acts. Now, Diddy's team is like, it's time to strike. NBC rushed and put out that documentary, and they got hit with a $100 million suit. That's just the first domino to fall. Well, the other dominoes are going to come real soon. Real soon. Just going to be a whole stack of dominoes falling down. Every day you look, another domino. They locked up R. Kelly off of charges that was way past the statute of limitation. He's supposed to be free right now because he never should have been incarcerated for that. You want to incarcerate him, should have incarcerated him back in the 90s or whenever that trial was, when y'all said he was not guilty. That wasn't him on the tape. No, R. Kelly was guilty back for the things that he did. Now, he was really doing these things back in there. But you can't try a guy for crimes that you acquitted him of. That's double jeopardy. Well, at least we used to think so. And they did just that. Now, shout out to the Detroit Pistons for blowing out the Chicago Bulls. Yet again. By 40. By 40 burger. Yeah. Now, Diddy hadn't done anything. Now you got the girl from making the band. How do you think you made the band, female? I saw you on Making the Band. You were terrible. You weren't that great of a singer. Now, how you think you made the band? You was there to get up with Diddy. Diddy was going to hit you off, and you thought Diddy was going to make you a star for giving up that ass. When you didn't equate to anything, you was just nice enough for Diddy to hit when he wanted to get down. Now that it's over, look at what we got. Look at what we're stuck with. Modern day lynching of a black man. People keep thinking, why are you trying to get Diddy off? How am I going to get somebody off? I'm going by the evidence that they presented. If something sounds fishy and suspicious when it's brought up, why are you mad at me for pointing it out? My whole thing is, why your antenna broke? You didn't pick up this? That it didn't make any sense? It didn't make sense to you that he stopped at 120 people on the dot? It didn't make sense to you that in less than 48 hours, they were ready and fully doing a press conference? From the time Diddy was arrested, they had, according to their knowledge, over 2,000, 3,000 calls. And they were able to, out of 3,000 calls, vet 120-something people in 2 days. Where it takes sometimes months to vet 2 people. You were able to vet 120 people in a weekend? That didn't raise antennas? The fact that the case was brought to New York City when the raid was done in Cali and Florida, that didn't raise any antennas? That the only reason that this case is being tried in New York is because the hotel incident happened in New York. So they want to use that tape because that whole evidence connects the New York City to the whole thing. So they want to make a case out of something he wasn't even charged for. All of this and nobody's antennas go up. I'm the only one here that's asking, like, what the hell is going on here? That ain't making sense. None of this makes any sense. Then we supposed to ignore what happened with him and Diagelo, GLO or whatever, DiGilo or whatever, the liquor company. We supposed to ignore the fact that Diddy told the Democrats, I'm starting my own political party for black people. And you seem to think that none of that had anything to do with it? Your antennas ain't go up? He still beat her up. So? What that got to do with it? Not saying that she should have got a foot in the ass, but she fought him before too. Did you not know that? There's witnesses to that she went off on Diddy. and was fighting him and all kind of stuff. I'm saying he's not charged for that. He's not being charged for hitting Cassie. And even if he was, it is a misdemeanor charge. Domestic misdemeanor charge. He don't get in jail. He don't get no jail time for that. You have at least 2 to 3 people to say Cassie was an aggressor on Diddy before. Both of them went through therapy. Both of them have done drugs. They had a violent relationship, very physical, but they stayed together. She didn't leave him after he hit her. They were together 2 days later, right back at another event. That's how their relationship was. Toxic, volatile relationship. Didn't need to be, but that's what they liked. So they went with it. Society put people in that box and tell them this is what it is. Society put them there. What's going to happen when she stuck around for the money? She took a deal for the money. Her lawyers gave the tape to Diddy after Diddy negotiated and paid her. She wanted $30 million. They came out with a settlement price and gave her the tape. Once Diddy gave her the tape, her lawyer gave the tape to the police who wanted to build a case on Diddy because they're out to get him, because the people in the powers that be want Diddy to go down. And anybody think that's not in conjunction, they're a damn fool. That liquor company, that ain't no coincidence. There's no coincidence when you're talking about billions of dollars. There's no coincidence. They're all connected. The Democrats, the liquor company, it's all connection. Only someone who was foolish would believe there's no connection. Well, you're supposed to present the facts. They presented what they had as evidence. And at the end of this, it's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I remember when they did the raid, and I told you, I said, they can't get to those tapes. Well, I thought you said they couldn't get to the tapes, you know? They say they got all these videos. Told you the feds could get anything. They're not going to get into those servers. And they didn't. The only evidence of tapes that they could use, that they have, came from Cassie's lawyer. Cassie's lawyer's tapes. That's it. All the other tapes, null and void. Like it didn't even exist. Can you picture that? But they had all those tapes. How? You know, they had all the tapes. Well, they didn't have what they wanted to have on tape. They ain't had what they needed to have on tape. Now, there's no escape. So, what you was left with and what you saw was typical. What they showed you was smoke and mirrors. They want you to believe a narrative that their lawyers and their legal team is going to paint for you. Right? So, if their legal team can create a narrative, a idea, a situation that makes them look outstanding, who's not going to believe it? If they control the internet, if they control the minds of the public and the people that's next to them, right? If they can control those narratives, they don't even need evidence. Right now, 90% of America believes the evidence is him with Justin Bieber, him hitting Cassie by the elevator, makes him guilty of anything they try to throw at him. They just did a documentary on Diddy. They said in the documentary, I got a friend now. If they make a documentary about it, she'll believe it. No one is smart anymore. It seems like everybody wants to be told how to think. And their antennas are broken. Now, well, they might not take it down. They might make an edit, but the damage is done. Because they should take it down because I never even watched it because I already knew what time it is when it comes to that. But the claims that they're saying, it's ridiculous for them to even make those type of egregious statements. And the way this was going, I was like, even though Gene is there and, you know, the code of the bodyguard and all of this stuff, you know, when you're the bodyguard, your job is to guard somebody, not to be my life as a bodyguard and what I saw and report to the rest of the world the things that you saw. Your confidentiality is part of your job. Unless somebody's life's in danger, then it's up to you to report. You're saving someone's life. But if you are participating in said activities, it's kind of hard for somebody to say, hey, man, if this was going on, what was you doing there? See, you're going to get to, they're going to box you in and try to answer these questions now. Because it's going to come. They're going to try to trip you up and find some way to drag you in it. Big Gene don't strike me as the kind of guy that will sit there and allow something like that to go down. He don't take me in his demeanor or anything about him and the way he carry himself. He doesn't strike me as that person that would see an underage girl with Diddy and be like, oh, right this way, man. Gene don't seem like that type. But what it opens up the door for is people making those accusations and saying, Gene was there. Now, it's going to take one person who files a frivolous lawsuit, and they're going to, just the way they took Big Joe, Baltimore Joe, messed up his business by throwing him in this mess, and he didn't sue this woman now. Yeah, he don't even know the woman. Not even met her. And she's making in the statement saying, we're going to get a lot of money. Telling her boyfriend to go against Diddy. All these civil suits are going to get beat. Diddy's going to beat this case. And everybody going to be disgraced. They're going to try to get him convicted on some dope or whatever. But he's going to be tainted. He'll be a pariah. He'll win the case and be everywhere. They're going to be like, why is he here? We don't want him here. Celebrities ain't going to want to be around Diddy. It'll be like, he got away with it. And for Diddy, that's hell. Diddy likes being out and about. Man about town. Being invited to all these places. Of course he should be free. Why should he be jailed? I'm not saying Diddy never did anything wrong in his life, but for what they're accusing him of, hell to the nizzo. You should not be in jail. No way, shape, or form. Amongst other things. How many of y'all think Diddy is innocent? Yes or no? Y'all can put it in the chat. How many of y'all think Diddy is innocent? for all the crimes of racketeering, everything they charged Diddy with. He is 100% innocent. Yep. Did Diddy do bad in his life? Yes. There's a lot of bad things. Did he beat people up? Yep. Did he beat women up? Yep. But this isn't about that. This is about this case. And in this case, the statements are very clear. Do we find Diddy responsible for what they charged him for? Humbled up, you must don't pay attention to the trial. And I don't blame you. It's so much disinformation and misinformation that has been given to you. There are no videotapes. Humbled up. There are no videotapes. Let me inform you again, in case you just didn't know. This is what happened legally. The prosecution has to turn over the evidence they have to the defense so they can prepare to proper defend the evidence that they're going to present in court. So after all the videotapes they claim they had, right, they go through, they couldn't find any crimes. So the only thing they found that they could use as a crime is the tape that came from Cassie's lawyer. So that's a very key discovery. So Cassie's lawyer is the one that provided the tape of the evidence. And it's the only tape they have. And it's a tape of Diddy and Cassie having sex. There's no additional people on this film. There's no additional people that is in this tape. Humbled up. There is no underage person in there. It's just Diddy and Cassie. No men, no celebrities, none of this stuff that they talked about. So where did they get all this from? The internet. And they used that and they said all these things in statements and put all this racketeering and all this conspiracy to do stuff. Where's the freak offs? Where's all these like drugs and all this? Where is it? It's not on the tape. It's not in the evidence they presented. So they're in trouble. So now they do the superseding indictment now to put one more claim in there. Once again, add a victim 2 and victim 3. No co-conspirators. So how's it a racketeering with no co-conspirator? I said it. Nobody paid any attention. Dave Chappelle said it. Everybody's like, Dave Chappelle, he owning something. You know what Dave said? That's it. These people are stupid. I'm done. But it just goes to show you. People in the chat have said it. People was like, how is it racketeering? And there's nobody there but him. So it ain't just us. Now, if all these different people are coming around saying it, some people are saying it. Clive Davis can't help him. Clive can't do nothing to get him out of this. So what about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Well, having 1,000 bottles of baby oil isn't a crime. And two, let's go over the baby oil, right? First, Diddy never put the baby oil in there. It was set up to be a room, like, you know how you have a room set up for like a party, whatever, the theme of it. It was staged like that, and they set it up just like you would decorate your room for Valentine's Day for your girl. So they was going to get freaky. They had the room all set up, ready to go. It's all prop. And he's not the one that set it up. He got people they paid to set up the rooms. They know what's up. That's what I always say. They know what's up. Too many question marks. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're going to drop the investigation. Because they look into Eric Adams, then they got to look into everybody else. They were dead to rights guilty. And that's one thing about politics is that it's a rabbit hole. It ain't just one person that's messed up. It's a whole bunch of ducks in a row. Yeah, the Asian woman, the black man, they had everybody going there. That corruptional sting would have been too much. Now, what about the drug charge? What's going to happen is that when this case starts and all the so-called evidence they got is refuted and they have no case, they're going to come with a plea deal. They're going to want to plea with Diddy and say, hey, we got you on these guns and drugs. Let's just say we take the conviction on those and we'll give you 3 months of probation or whatever for the guns. You don't do anything and we'll have time served for the rest of the drug charges and we'll drop everything else. That way, the state keeps their conviction rate high. They got the conviction. But all the major charges will be dropped. Meanwhile, what happens to Diddy? His businesses are gone. Nobody, the partners that wanted to do business with him, they don't want to do business with him no more. He's tainted now. You've destroyed the very fabric of what it is that he does. And all for what? All for what? Gosh, man, you Fresco, you about 6 years behind. He's like, they said it's that in the baby oil. I'm like, man, you are 6 years behind. They've been found out there was no THB or whatever. Yeah, well, oh, it's my matches from Rachel's, baby. Good old Rachel's. Orlando, baby. Hey, spoon, come down, hey, the Senegal. Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up. He said, I ain't believe it, trust me. You're a smart man not to believe it. Because they tested the baby oil. Believe me, if you got thousands of bottles and you got that in there, they don't even need this case. Diddy doing triple life. First of all, that's the first thing they're going to test for. And if they had that as evidence, not only would that have been already used in the trial, he'd have been arrested for it. Done. None of this internet slander stuff would have had to even been used. He'd have been through. It wouldn't be no mystery that they're going to reveal during the discovery. As soon as they found out if that's what that is, gone. So that's how you knew it was over. Your common sense meter coming in. See, I was good at doing this my whole life. I was on the debate team in college in the O.J. Simpson trial. You remember the O.J. Simpson trial, right? Orenthal James. So, when we had Orenthal and all that was transpiring there, we watched the trial in school. They had the TVs rolled in, and we had to take classes on it. But do you know why they did that to us? Why they wanted us to take these classes? Why they wanted us to see that? It was very clear what they wanted. They wanted us to see a black man because the teachers were white. There's some that was black, but our teachers were white, professors. They wanted us to see your black man go down. Modern day lynching. That's why they put the cameras in the courtroom. And that turned out to be the worst thing they could have ever done. But they wanted to make it a public execution. Mm-hmm. Well, there's always been others. People are always going to say the least of what they're thinking. Because all the smart people in the game, they know better. The smart people know what it is. So they're not going to even entertain it. Because they don't have to. Well, we'll see. He thinks that he's going to get Jay-Z to settle on this lawsuit. Jay-Z is not. Jay-Z's going to tear this lawyer apart when it's all said and done. Trust me. He thinks Donald Trump's going to save him. He's not strong enough. Jay-Z dropped his sanctions. That's because something else is going to happen. There was a reason why he dropped the sanctions. Exactly. He's going to take Diddy off the case. Mm-hmm. Well, Jay-Z dropped the sanctions, I believe, due to legal proceedings that would incriminate Rock Nation. So if he was going to file, it would be filed in a different way. So they're both going to just get the case dismissed. And I'm quite sure that's why he said he would drop the sanctions if that was going to be happening. So Busby's going to drop his lawsuit against Jay-Z. They're going to do that. And everybody thinks Jay-Z's going to settle with Busby. It's not going to settle with that man. He's going to want that case dismissed, effective immediately. Yes, this is where the Casino sleeps. When he's tired, he comes into his big bed with his halo light. And he goes here in his king size bed and dream. Now, what's going on so far? Hmm. These people are so stupid. I, for whatever the reason is, have been embattled with this Steve Harvey people. That's right. Steve Harvey is sending out millions of cease and desist orders. Stupidest thing I've ever seen. And he decided to clip one of my videos and make a takedown statement. But his team has been working with me. And they think it was because of a thumbnail I had up. He wants me to send him the URL to the video. So I'm going to do that and take care of that. So let me go ahead and do that. Where's my queen at? I'm looking for the queen I could put on the other side of the bed. Then she can go in the other room over there where the queen size bed is. She can sleep in there and I'll sleep in here. Yeah, they got to learn how to act right. See, act right get you to stay here. Oh, yeah, I got to go to take care of the Patreon today. We got a lot going on over there. So stay tuned, because that's going to get crazy. 100%. Yes. Mm-hmm. Curtis King want to talk to Kwame Brown? Sure. I'll let him know. But yeah, Kwame goes live a lot. So you could tell him in his chat when he goes live too. I'll tell him. But you can tell him also. All right.